You're listening to the Get Rich Podcast. This is not a financial advice podcast. This is a podcast with two friends talking about how to get rich. Thank you for listening. Good to see you, Tyler. I'm glad you finally made it here.
I'm also glad I got here safely.
Yeah.
Thanks. So, John, I was going to pitch an idea this time, and I think I've got a really good one.
Okay. Proceed.
I want to sell sticks.
How? Why and how? And you won't make... How are you going to get rich from selling sticks? I just want to get rich. Get rich.
Get rich. Get rich.
So I'm gonna start a podcast.
Get rich. Get rich.
How come no one's ever done this?
Get rich. Get rich.
Now it's time to
get rich.
Well, let's, first off, you know my proclivities. You know that I like to collect sticks. I'm a bit of a ribologist, you might say. If I'm saying that word correctly.
Yeah.
I recently found out that there's a word for this, and I know you know, because I told you.
I know, I don't know how to spell it, but why don't you make our audience aware, because I'd never heard of this word before until recently, and most of them probably haven't either.
Look, I didn't know there was a word for it, but there's a word for everything, so yeah, there's a word for it. And it is rabology, R-A-B-O-L-O-G-Y, rabology. And that is
the study of rabies.
No, it's stick collecting.
Okay.
So someone who collects sticks is known as a ribologist. They collect sticks. And that, I think, is me. Because, John, we spent a lot of time in the woods, and I would like to spend more still.
Anything I can do to get into the woods, yes, I'm about it. If I can go into the woods and make money.
Well, I mean, you can't make money maybe from just going in the woods unless one of our other ideas picks up.
If that's like step one.
Yeah, it's step one, I think.
I'm cool with it. But maybe we should do a little backstory.
I'll let you do the story this time. I'm not feeling well. Okay.
Well, as he said a moment ago, we spent a lot of time in the woods as teenagers, in our high school years. I believe it was the Christmas break of 2002.
I mean, you don't have to date us, but yeah.
Whatever. We're in our mid-30s.
And that was finally when I was able to get you and a few other people to agree to hit each other with sticks.
Yeah. So
I probably could have gotten more people to do it if I didn't sell it that way. Hey, let's go hit each other with sticks. I'd been trying for a year by that point.
Listen, honesty is the best policy. If you'd have just told some people, let's go hang out in the woods, and then you just surprised them by trying to hit them with sticks, they probably would not have appreciated that.
You're right. They probably would have had some choice words for me.
Something, or they just would have ran away screaming. But,
yeah, but you guys weren't the first ones I asked. I'm not.
Oh.
Sorry, that came out wrong.
I wasn't?
I just mean
So I was like option B, C?
I just mean that I had been trying to convince anyone to do it for about a year by that point.
I'm pretty sure I was like, heck yeah, the first time you asked me.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, listen, if you're rolling your eyes right now, being like... But everybody has that childhood memory of stick fighting with a twig, with a branch, with a broom handle. And we're like, let's do this while we're teens. No shame.
I would do it right now if I wasn't afraid of hospital bills. If I wasn't afraid of blowing a knee.
Well, maybe we can get into the evolution of... because we had some injuries.
You know what? And you don't even have to sell it like this is what kids do. It's more than that. One of our greatest presidents was an avid single sticker. I believe that it used to be an Olympic sport.
Theodore?
Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt.
Okay, yeah.
He was a single sticker. He did it daily.
What's
Boxing.
That famous saying he had? Walk soft and carry a big stick. Yeah, that's tenets to live by.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we used to do that. I would still do it. We still have... I still have a collection. Every time we go into the woods just to hang out, I bring a saw. I actually bring one of your saws.
Yeah, you always bring a phone. Back in the day, we didn't have that though. We got lost many a time in the woods. But a phone, water, a stick, and a saw.
That's what you need.
A pocket knife I always carry as well. But yeah, you got to have those things. And yeah, so that was when Tyler's fascination with sticks, ribologist
yeah.
urges first started.
I guess so. But
at the peak, we had 10, 15 people out there.
It was a beautiful thing. And before you confuse this with LARPing, it wasn't.
No. Yeah, we weren't like if you get hit in the arm, your arm's cut off kind of deal.
It was a 3-hit rule normally. You get hit 3 times, you're out.
It's more like amateur fencing, I guess. I don't know. It was kind of like
without the strict fencing
Yeah,
rules.
we didn't hit in the face on purpose.
Accidents happen.
No crotch shots, but again,
but those still count.
Accidents happen.
Yeah,
they count, and you get a minute to compose yourself. Didn't you bust yourself once? You hurt your.
I think it was everyone else had been hit in the crotch that day, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm happy it's not me." And then I was also trying to balance myself on a staff. Yeah. And ended up falling over.
That's what happened.
Yeah. And also that's one of my deep wishes to actually be good with a staff.
Everybody wants to be able to spin it around, and like, when you see a kung fu or a monk character in a movie or something,
you want to be that guy.
Everybody wants to be able to do that.
Yeah. So either way, sorry, I know that was a tangent with what got us here, with what planted the seed, as it were,
yes,
of my stick hunting life. But still, every time we go out, I like to bring a saw. I like to collect sticks, and I recently found a stick walker or walking stick forum. That's a great resource. Where amateur ribologists share their, tips and tricks for finding and curing and treating and making walking sticks and canes and things of the sort, right? So that sort of got me leaning in this direction, right? Maybe we can make some money selling sticks. You process them.
Make some money.
You got to what did I say?
Make money.
Can
we get rich from it?
Yes, I think so. And here's why. How much?
Quantity thing, I guess, right?
Well, quantity is one thing. Yeah, and you got a lot of sticks out here. Like, it doesn't take much. You can't throw a rock without hitting a stick around here, okay?
Okay.
So yeah, first off, quantity is in our favor, right? We have the advantage of quantity. But more importantly, I recently stumbled upon another website that is heavily advertised. Like, I was shocked at the places that this website says that they are advertised through. It's like, largely like a Fox and Friends situation, I think.
For walking sticks and like canes for old people.
Yeah, and I think that's why that's where they're advertised so much. I don't want to get in maybe necessarily to I don't care. It's called Cane Masters, right? And their logo is like a martial arts style logo, which implies that these sticks were made for fighting, right? These sticks are made for fighting, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these sticks are gonna, fight you. But on that website, they are selling canes for nearly $300.
Whoa. Hold on. Like, I was about to be like, what? Like, selling them for like 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks?
That's what I would have thought. I mean, you go out, you cut down a little tree, and you peel the bark off, and you do whatever you do to it, and what is that worth, right? It can't be worth much. But no.
You said $300?
Yeah, and if you get real fancy with it, they're about $500. But here's the thing. Even like the simple, this thing is just like a 1 1/4 inch diameter, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's 5 feet tall. That's still nearly $200. You're basically buying a dowel for $200.
Yeah. Well, you got to treat it. You got to harden it. You have to put in carvings or whatever, I'm assuming, if you want it to be more expensive.
This bad boy was just a plain walking staff.
For $200.
5 foot. It was $180.
Okay.
It was, treated with oil, and that was it.
I may be coming around to this idea.
I know. Okay.
But you don't know. Can you see their sales numbers? I guess if they're advertising on a major network, they're making some money. There's a lot of old people who want sticks, right?
Yes.
And they have money if they're old.
And they're smart. They're like, this is Cane Masters. This isn't just like, oh, this is for the elderly. No, this is a self-defense tool. This isn't just for you to walk with. Times are getting tough. Violence is up. Defend yourself, Cane Masters.
There you go.
I mean, I don't know what their ad slogan is, but that could be it. That could be ours. Like, we can do better than that. John, do better than that.
Do better than that. Okay, you put me on the spot here a little bit.
So,
how about when we make or when this episode's sponsor next episode?
Yeah, there we go. We'll have a better slogan.
We'll figure it out.
You know what? Great time. Here's a quick word from this episode's sponsor.
Do you want some custom shirts for maybe like a family reunion? Or do you like funny puns and stuff? Maybe on a coffee cup? Yeah, me too. You should check out my shop on Etsy where I sell things I make. Like this funny wine glass that says live, love, drink cab. Or this wall sign that says home is where the wine is. I also make sweaters and bags. I've got a sweater that says I'm strong and powerful, but you can still call me pretty. It's funny. My son wants me to sell his crayon pictures. And I make him do most of the ironing for the vinyl, so if you want a doodle or something, yeah, those are there. You can put vinyl on lots of things, like cups and shirts and bags and shoes. If you have an idea, drop me a line. Maybe we're a match. We can collab. I don't know. Check out my shop, Grasshopper's Paradise, on Etsy. Thanks, fam.
Yeah. So, $180.
$180.
For just a straight up stick out of the ground.
Okay, I mean, you got to do a little bit to it. How much time will it take for it to, you got to dry it, age it?
So generally speaking, I think what they say is oh goodness.
Do they have this one's been aged a month, 2 months, 3 months? Are the ones that are aged longer, like wine that's older, are they more expensive or?
No, not really.
You could do that.
We could. And there are some other treatments that I would consider, shillelaghs, for example. They have a special treatment that I think could be interesting to do. Bring it back.
What is it? Do you need equipment? Can you just do it?
Well, you've got everything we need.
Well, no. One thing I was going to mention: if you want to make a cane shape, you're going to have a steamer of some sort.
Yeah. So that part would be tough. So maybe I'm not at a $500 a pop situation because I would have to
$4.99.
But you're right. You'd have to bend the wood, which isn't necessarily too tricky. You can soak it and bend it still. You really can. But for a shillelagh, for example, they've got a dark, shiny coat. I don't know if you're familiar. A shillelagh is like an Irish style.
It's like an old school. I thought it was like a police kind of.
They used it all. Yeah.
Okay.
So the idea of a shillelagh sort of moved around and became sort of a club type thing. But so their treatment at first I think was cow dung, but we don't need that. But I think you can just use a lard.
Okay.
So you put lard on it, and then what they would do is they would shove it up their chimney.
Okay, I was worried.
Yeah. And then
I didn't know where that was going.
They shove it up at commercial break.
Something. Okay, so it's it's a smoked treatment or something.
Yeah. So we could do something like that. Probably speed up the process with a smoker,
like a fire hazard.
Yeah, I know. So I was thinking you could do it with a modified smoker.
It'd have to be a big smoker to fit a big stick in it.
Well, yeah, but you're just working with a pipe, really.
You can make a smoker out of a big cardboard box and a hot plate, pretty much.
You make the smoker, and then you just stick a big old pipe off of it for the smoke to go out, and that's where you put the stick.
Okay, yeah.
So, and I'm sure I could charge for those. If I can charge $180 for a 5-foot stick, imagine if it's, a three and a half foot stick that's been treated and has a natural black shine to it.
Okay.
That's $300. Arbitrarily
Easy.
saying it right here.
Easy, yeah.
John, I've got at least $1,000 in my shed in sticks.
There you go. That's how, yeah.
Right.
It's endless supply.
These are already sitting there. Like, I've got sticks that, and you know what? One of the sticks that I was working on recently, ruined, but still.
Try to learn how to avoid that.
Well, it was a drying issue, it dried too fast, it cracked. But it was a Christmas tree, right? We could repurpose Christmas trees,
Hey.
and I think that those would make great sticks.
Yeah, but those are pine.
Well, they're fir. I mean,
That's
they're
a pine, isn't it?
No, they're a type of conifer. Yes, but that's not pine.
You need like a hardwood.
I think these still count as hardwoods.
I don't know. No, let me.
Do you know what hardwood even means?
It means the wood is hard.
No, it describes how the wood grows. Balsa wood is technically a hardwood, and it is the softest wood around.
Okay, well, there are certain species
Yeah.
of trees that are like renowned for being good for walking sticks or whatever.
You've seen my pine walking stick.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. It's one hit with anything on that and it would break.
That's what you think.
Okay.
We'll have to test it.
We can test that and make a video of it and put it somewhere if you
I
want.
don't want to break my pine stick. I need to get
Are
another
you
one.
scared it's going to break?
Maybe, yeah. I got to go get another one.
Because maybe it's not the best type of wood to use for a stick.
Maybe not.
Okay, yeah.
But you know what? My juniper, I think that's my new favorite.
Juniper? No, you got to go with like oak. What's that one that I can't think of right now? Hickory. Hickory's like really good.
Those are good.
We have a lot of that around here, both.
Then let's go get it.
Let's just go with what's well known, what's plentiful. Nobody wants a pine walking stick.
They might. The only reason I wouldn't want a pine is that I believe in certain climates, the pitch, the sap.
You get your hands all sticky every time you touch it.
I haven't had that issue with mine.
Well,
But I also heat treated mine. Which, probably.
I mean, there's room for experimentation.
Yes.
But first, just go with oak and hickory and,
There's lots of oak around. And
plenty.
you know what? I'm a believer in the Yopon.
Yopon.
Whatever. I'm a believer in that.
Yopon.
I said Yopon.
No, you said Yopon.
I don't.
You put the emphasis on the syllable. Funny.
You know what? This is you're arbitrarily coming at me here on a pronunciation. You know the kind I'm talking about.
I do.
It's a hard. I mean, as woods go, it feels pretty hard.
I think there has to be some kind of test or something.
There are tests that we could do, and there are different tools and equipment that we could use to test the moisture content.
Yeah, here's the test. You hit it against something, and if it doesn't break, it's good.
Well, yeah, but if I'm gonna sell you a stick, and I've already smashed it up against a metal pole, do you want that stick?
Hit other wood so it doesn't make a big dent or something.
Yeah, but
And we make 5-6 sticks of different woods and we test them, then we know which ones to proceed with production.
okay, it sounds very scientific.
Yeah, trial and error, trial run.
Yeah, we'll test them and see which ones are best.
What's the word I'm
feel
thinking of? It's a P word. Prototype.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, prototype. You know what? I feel like I'm really getting you on board with this, and that makes me happy.
Well, if this was just a stick sell for $50 situation, then no. But if sticks sell for hundreds of dollars, $200 to $500, depending, I'm all about that. Yeah. Shipping would be a nightmare, probably.
Well, we don't have to pay for that. Put it off on the customer.
Well, yeah, you got to add that cost, though.
What do you mean? It's not a big deal.
You got to think of a good name for it.
Yeah?
Cane Masters is pretty bad.
That's
pretty badass.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I wish we had that one.
Cane Master. Stick Master.
That's not bad. I'm not mad about that one.
That's a spitball. That's some, but...
there are lots of good options, I feel like. The Stick Fighter Association, I think, needs to come back. I think...
Well, the thing Cane Masters did that sounds smart is... they have walking sticks, they have canes, they have, self-defense sticks.
They do have some Cali sticks and things like that.
Tactical sticks or whatever.
Yeah.
Different martial arts stuff. You can't box yourself.
I don't think they have too much of that, but yeah. You would think that they did. There's a guy in my neighborhood who walks his dog every day, and he's got a nice little stick.
Yeah.
It's got a handle and a little guard on it.
There you go.
My concern is that at some point you have to make sure that you have a carry license for a weapon. In some places you have to.
Not for sticks, I don't think.
If it is primarily a cane, a walking cane, no. But there are certain situations where if you're carrying it as a weapon, yes.
Yeah, I mean, you can't open carry, I don't think, unless you're in Texas or have a license.
I mean, you can open carry lots of places now. Like, firearms anyway.
Oh, yeah. But
Florida.
I didn't know you could do it in Florida without a license.
Yeah, they did something recently.
Oh, that makes sense.
No, never mind. It's a concealed carry. It's open it's you don't need a license to conceal. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Alabama's open carry. So you can walk around.
I know Texas is.
You can walk around with like your hunting rifle in Alabama, at least if I recall. And it's like no one can do anything.
I know there's Florida videos where you're allowed to open carry, and I've seen like the auditor people on YouTube. If you're going to or from like your hunting or your camp or you're like fishing,
then it's okay.
And I've seen a guy who was like had some fishing poles and was like strapped with like an AR or something.
Good
and he
grief.
like started quoting them the whatever. Of course they like pulled up with guns, told him to get on the ground, and like then he like was quoting the law to him, and they eventually let him go. But
I've got a great story.
That guy was looking for that to happen.
It's true. I've got a great assault rifle story, but I don't think we have time for it here, so I'm just going to tease it here.
When will it ever come back up again?
I don't know.
Just go for it.
So I was down in Tampa. It was late.
Nothing to do with
nothing with sticks. It was late at night, right? And we'd all been out and drinking and things, and we got to this guy's house, and one of the other guests, he was like, and this was on the Hillsborough River. Okay, this house was on the river. And this guy's like, "Hey, I got my assault rifle in the truck. You guys want to go see it?" And one of the other guys was like terrified of guns, as if like bringing the gun in the truck to this house already hurt somebody. That's how scared he was. Yeah, I know.
It's like if you didn't grow up in a household that had guns, they can really freak people out.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah. But what was awful about it is that these two guys were on such opposite ends of that spectrum, right? The one guy was like, "I can't believe you brought it." And then the other guy, he's like, he's taking it out of his truck and it's already loaded. Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like,
I'm sure the safety was on, right?
And he's like, "Let's shoot it." And it's like, dude, it is 1:30 in the morning.
You're in an apartment complex, right?
No, it was at a house.
Okay.
But it was on the river.
Hey, then that's fine.
We were literally like sitting on the river. And it's like, dude, it is 1:30 at night on the river. You're talking about firing an assault rifle, and it is going to echo so far in so many directions. You're going to get the police here. Yeah. Meanwhile, the other guy's like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" Like,
listen, if you live in the woods in the middle of nowhere, that's one thing. But I'm pretty sure a lot of cities and stuff have a noise ordinance where if it's after a certain time. Yeah, and you probably would have got people calling the cops on you, but
and even
then he didn't shoot it, right?
No, because I was the voice of reason. Where I wasn't that guy over there who's like, guns exist, so I'm gonna go like cower. But I'm also not the guy who's like, let's shoot it on the river. I'm like, no, okay, it's a gun, great, but we don't need to shoot it right now, please.
No. But if you ever do get the chance to go to a shooting range, have you ever been?
I've fired weapons, yes.
It's fun.
It's all right.
It's pretty fun.
I'd rather swing a stick around.
Well, yeah. Bringing it back.
Bringing it back.
Nice,
you know me.
Nice tie-in.
The other thing about this, John, that I think is just both hilarious and depressing is how completely upside down like the world economy is in some ways.
Okay.
Like, if you can go to the store and buy a lawnmower for like $130, $150, but people are selling sticks for like $180 or $200, like, what?
Yeah, that's pretty... I don't know. I don't know what one's made in China, one's made in America, or what.
I guess. And you know what? These would all be American made.
Oh, yeah. That's a good angle to go at.
Yeah.
Crafted in America.
So
Sourced
I'm telling you.
in America.
I think, John, we should start selling sticks. It's just a great idea.
I think it's pretty good, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Get Rich Podcast. Go to our website, getrichpod.com, or email us at jnt@getrichpod.com to let us know what you thought about an episode or to submit episode ideas. If you really want to support us, subscribe to our Patreon. You can find us at patreon.com/getrichpod. Subscribers will have exclusive access to vote on ideas we try, access to videos of us doing the ideas, as well as weekly bonus content. Thanks for listening.